If you're watching this channel, it's because you don't enjoy watching the world squander what Christendom built, and you want to do your part. Today I'd like to mention one means of doing just that. Email made by and for Catholics. Check out Fidei Email. That's FIDEI.email. Built for Catholic individuals, families, organizations, and groups. They're private, secure, and of course Catholic. God bless.
There was a consistory happening in Rome. If you don't know what a consistory is, it's a big get-together where Francis summons a bunch of bishops and some priests to Rome to elevate them to the office of cardinal. Sometimes this happens, as you'll see in this story, as an honorific. They've hit the age of mandatory retirement even for a cardinal, but he's getting a reward for a job well done. They are a cardinal, they have all the honors of it, but they can't participate in anything cardinals do, it would include working in the Roman Curia and, most importantly, in the conclave that will give us the next Roman pontiff. But it's an honorific. Or, for the most of these men, they become cardinal electors. They will participate in the conclave that gives us the next Roman pontiff if they do not age out before Francis goes to his judgment. Saturday, December 7th, a conclave is happening. Or a consistory is happening, rather. Francis is making 21 new cardinals. Once the consistory is done, he will be responsible for 80% of the cardinals who will choose the next Roman pontiff. There are, by canon law, 120 who can participate. He always, just like his predecessors did, create more cardinals than needed to participate because they age out over the year. No one really knows what happens if a conclave has to be held to give us a new pope, and there are more cardinal electors than canon law allows. Presumably, they'll all be allowed to participate because otherwise it would create scandal. But they age out at the age of 80, and that's one of those post-conciliar novelties. Paul VI, probably recognizing that what Vatican II had brought to the church was an absolute revolution in the church, imposed a law on the church that has never been abrogated. And it says that at age 80, cardinals can no longer participate in the papal conclave. That resulted in him getting to remake the Roman Curia almost entirely, between just all the cardinals who were already over age but still operating in their capacities, as well as over the course of the next several years before he went to his own judgment, being able to clean house in the Roman Curia. So every year, practically, except for one so far in Francis's papacy, Francis has gotten to make a bunch of new cardinals. And again, it's 80% of the cardinals who will choose the next pope. And so we have an idea of the caliber of men he's chosen. And so far, the reporting on it has shown that it isn't good. The highest profile was a Dominican priest who was a fellow traveler with James Martin, and everybody focused on that. But we now have a new story. So go to Vatican News. This is the BBC of the Vatican, basically, with the headline, 5 Italians to be elevated as cardinals by Pope Francis at December 7th consistory. There's only one cardinal that I could not find much on here, but even what he's known for in this article makes me suspicious of him. It looks very clearly like Francis is preparing for the next conclave to make sure he has the best chance of getting a Francis II, even after he is gone. And the reason for that is that for the revolution in the church to be successful, he needs to keep it going after he's gone. It's a succession plan. I'll give you my prediction for the next conclave, roughly when I think it's going to be and what the outcome is likely to be after we talk about this consistory. But these are 5 Italians. That's unusual. Francis usually likes to go to the peripheries. But when understanding something about Italian bishops, they know Rome better than anybody else. They're best prepared to operate the Roman Curia better than anybody else because they know Rome. They know the Vatican. They know the inner workings. They know the secrets. They know how it all works. Those cardinals from the peripheries come to Rome when they need to, but they rarely talk to other cardinals. The bishops in Rome, the cardinals from Rome, they know the game. Begin to see how this works. This is preparing for the next conclave, whenever that is. Let's go over this article. 5 Italians have been chosen by Pope Francis to become cardinals at this December 7th consistory, 4 of whom are under 80 years old and therefore have voting rights to elect a new pope at the next conclave. In total, 21 cardinals representing the Catholic Church's geographical diversity will be created at the upcoming consistory. Metropolitan Archbishop Roberto Rapole of Turin, who edited the series The Theology of Pope Francis, is a theologian and former president of the Italian Theological Association, educated at the Pontifical Gregorian University in Rome. The 57-year-old prelate actively participated in both plenary sessions of the Worldwide Synod on Synodality that took place in the Vatican in 2023 and 2024. Rapole also participated in the 2024 Theological Pastoral Forums, created by the Synod of Bishops to deepen study and reflection on the missionary action of the Church. This is a Bergoglian. He wrote the book on Francis's weird theology. He is a Bergoglian through and through. He's 57. Keep an eye on him. He will be active as a cardinal for the next 23 years. He will take part in the next conclave to give us Francis a successor. Excuse me. Next, Archbishop Baldassare Reina, Vicar General of the Diocese of Rome. Vicar General means he's governing Rome for Francis. Remember, the Bishop of Rome, the Pope's title, one of them is the Bishop of Rome. So he is the Bishop of the Diocese of Rome, but he's a little busy to be doing the day-to-day thing. So this is your Vicar General, and is the youngest of the Italian prelates to be elevated to the cardinalate on December 7th. In 2024 alone, in addition to being chosen for the College of Cardinals, the 54-year-old, for the next 26 years, meaning 2050 is when he will age out, prelate was appointed by Pope Francis as Vicar General of the Diocese of Rome, Archpriest of the Basilica of St. John Lateran, titular Bishop of Aqua de Mauritania, Apostolic Administrator of Ostia, and Grand Chancellor of the Pontifical Lateran University. The next is Father Fabio Baggio, CS. He's the only one of 5 Italian cardinal elects who belongs to a religious congregation. He will become titular Archbishop of Arussi. He's a priest of the Missionaries of St. Charles, or the Scalabrians. He has worked in the Vatican's dicastery for promoting integral human development since 2017. Another Bergoglian. This is the dicastery for implementing Laudato Si. With the appointment of Canadian Jesuit Cardinal Michel Czerny as the dicastery's prefect in 2022, Baggio was subsequently promoted to the dicastery's undersecretary. From 2017 to 2022, he was the head also of the dicastery's people moving around a lot section. Next is Metropolitan Archbishop Domenico Battaglia of Naples. This is the one I couldn't find anything enough on to make a judgment on this or not, but he has been known for his love for the poor. He led we'll call it a recovery center in Catanzaro, Calabria, for over 20 years during his priestly ministry. Appointed by Pope Francis as Archbishop of Naples in 2022, he, also known as Don Mimo, had previously served as Bishop of Coreto, Sanita, Tele, Santa Agata dei Goti in Italy's southwestern region of Campania from 2016 to 2020. Running a recovery center does not mean you're a Bergoglian. It's actually laudable work to do, obviously, just to be clear about that. But if you know anything about him, because I couldn't find anything on this bishop, but I mean, I would expect he's a Bergoglian. I would expect the Italian choices, especially because of their knowledge of Rome more than anyone else, are being done on purpose. And finally, here's your honorific. At 99 years old, Archbishop Angelo Acerbi will become the oldest member of the College of Cardinals at the upcoming consistory. He has served as a bishop of the Catholic Church for 50 years. He's 99, folks. He also has 40 years of experience working as part of the Holy See's diplomatic corps. Between 1974 and 2001, he served as nuncio to New Zealand, Colombia, Hungary, Moldova, and the Netherlands. From 2001 to 2005, he was prelate of the Sovereign Military Order of Malta. Again, he's 99. He was doing that until he was 89 years old. Due to being over the age of 80, he will not be able to participate in the next conclave. And here is your kicker. Remember, 120 cardinals can participate in a conclave, but there will be 253 members of the College of Cardinals. At least half of them will be too old to participate in the conclave, but there'll be over 120 should a consistory the conclave happen next year, which I do not think is going to happen. Thanks very much for tuning in today. And as always, pray for the church. I'm Anthony Stine. Ave Maria.